जय माता दी आदेश नमस्कार दोस्तों गुड इवनिंग वेलकम टू द इवनिंग शो ऑफ मार्केट एनालिसिस मेरा नाम है विशाल दिस इज 340th episode of live analysis. So today being Sunday we are going to discuss the weekly strategy, what is the weekly plan for markets, and we will take the trading strategy for tomorrow, which is 3rd of May 2021. So today I'm a bit late, so apologies for that. Let me see how many people are online. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Namaskar, Jai Mata Di. Welcome, welcome to all the new subscribers of the channel. All right. Okay, so I am going to start the session in a while. Okay, good evening, good evening. All right, so we are good to go. Okay, so what's up? How are you guys doing? I hope everybody is safe in this COVID environment and in the political environment. So today was finally the election result, and all the results are out. So I think let us see how markets will react, because it is not easy to say. The profile on Friday was definitely bearish, and I won't be surprised to see gap down opening of 300-400 points. That is most likely to happen based on the technicals. So I will mostly talk about technicals, because politically I don't know how markets are going to react, because more or less it looks like market had factored in this kind of a result. The reason being that Friday, if you see the Friday, the way market started off with a gap down, then it could not go above the gap up, sorry, above the gap. And the way things happened in the second half, especially just towards the closing, we closed at almost the day's low. And still overall in this structure, corrective structure. So I think markets went neutral to the event, and tomorrow there will be a reaction. Okay, this is what I feel. Tomorrow there will be a reaction, but then I think market will align back to the technicalities, and this will be an event which is now gone in the books. So, what will be the trading strategy? How are things shaping up? We will discuss all these things, right? Let me see how many people are online. ठीक है, चलिए. So let us start this session. So first, I will talk about an interesting thing which happened on Friday. Today's session can be pretty long, so bear with me. I'm going to talk about a lot of things here. So first of all, before I start, let me just brief you guys that the next training is scheduled on this weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, May 8th and May 9th. यानी आने वाले इस weekend में we have scheduled this training, and a lot of things we are going to talk, especially my type of analysis, how to utilize my type of price action techniques, how to utilize the multiple time frame analysis, how to trade with mob levels, and so many things. VWAP, ऑल अबाउट गैप ट्रेडिंग, गैप मेथड को कैसे यूज करना है, इनिशियल बैलेंस को कैसे यूज करना है, वी वैप को कैसे यूज करना है. सो मेनी थिंग्स आर देयर, एंड इट्स अ प्रीटी हेक्टिक ट्रेनिंग which will be run on 2 days, which is May 8th and May 9th. So all the details are given. If anybody is interested, seriously interested, guys, you can WhatsApp and you can join. Once you join, all of you will be registered, will be added in my exclusive Telegram group, and this is the only way you can join my Telegram group. All right, so this is the update. Now, one very interesting thing which happened on Friday. So Friday क्या था? Friday we had the monthly closing as well as the weekly closing, correct? So US dollar, Mr. Dollar जो हैं इन्होंने बहुत बड़ी एक रैली स्टेज की. Why? Nobody knows. But Mr. Dollar knows why. Okay. So maybe the news will follow in some time in near future. So we had a very strong spike up move in the US dollar, And as you can see, this is one of the large candle in last so many days. Whenever it has initiated a impulse, it starts with a big candle like this. So this looks like a very convincing start, and this was the 61% Fibonacci retracement of this previous highs. Okay, so is swing ka from A to B, we had the 61.8 fib retracement over here. So we are seeing a very nice bounce back on April closing, on weekly closing. Now, similarly, we saw a very sharp decline in the British pound and in the Euro USD. So both these forex pairs, they have fallen pretty badly, I would say. Okay, British pound has reacted from a very obvious level of 1.4. If you can see on this daily chart, we had a very strong resistance band over here. So we had a very obvious rejection on the British pound. Similarly, अगर हम यूरो यूएसडी को देखते हैं तो उसमें भी काफी एक ऑब्वियस लेवल से एक डिक्लाइन हुई है. So it will be very interesting to see if US dollar can stage up the rally, because if that is the case, then we are going to see downward pressure to continue in the emerging markets, especially markets like India. Okay. Now इसका impact आपको immediate देखने को मिला emerging market index में. So okay. So we got to see a very nasty drop in the emerging market index and 1.77% down, right? So this is something which was affected by the upside movement in the US dollar. And if you remember, on Wednesday or Thursday night itself, I had said that this emerging market ETF, it is going to fall. How many people remember? I had said this, that emerging market ETF is going to fall, and the reason was very obvious. This जिस तरीके से निफ्टी एक ब्रेकआउट करके नीचे गिर रहा है, इसी तरीके से ये इंडेक्स भी बिहेव कर रहा है, एंड कपल्ड विद द यूएस डॉलर दिस वाज वेरी ऑब्वियस टू हैपन. नाउ इसका इम्पैक्ट आपको मंडे को हमारे मार्केट्स पे देखने को मिलेगा. वी विल हैव टू bear the effect of this thing on Monday in our markets. Now, similarly, one more good thing happened on the bearish side is the ACWI index. Now, this index, right, this index again reacted from a very obvious level of 100.5, and we have seen a nasty cut in this index. So, again, very bearish. Now, if we look at the DAX, if we look at the European markets, all these indices have closed ऑलमोस्ट एट डेज लो. एंड जर्मन मार्केट में आपको याद होगा कि मैंने कहा था कि ये मार्केट जो है एकदम टॉप पे खड़ा है, एंड दिस मार्केट इज सून गोइंग टू फॉल. Similarly, the French market, the UK market, the Japanese market, the Hong Kong market, all these markets are down. In fact, today the Saudi market is also open. Saudi market is also down. Okay, so video is now live. Video is not frozen. Let me know if all of you can see my screen, then I will continue, or else I will have to restart. What is the scenario? Just let me know. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, fine. Chalo, great. So, extremely red, all bearishness throughout. You can see forex market, equity market, commodities market, everything was bearish. Everything was red on Friday. S&P 500 की बात करें तो again, as I have said, nothing will happen. It will not go on the higher side, and same thing is happening. You can see it is just hovering around the 4,200 mark. Dow Jones 34,000 के ऊपर नहीं ट्रेड कर पा रहा है. सो प्रीटी मच जैसा हमने डिस्कस किया है उसी तरीके से ग्लोबल मार्केट्स आर ट्रेडिंग. एंड इफ आई टॉक अबाउट अवर ओन निफ्टी कि फ्राइडे को हमने क्या कहा था, फ्राइडे के लिए हमने क्या कहा था. सो इट वाज वेरी क्लियर दैट द बायस वाज ऑन द डाउन साइड. द मॉब लेवल वाज 14,950. What we did in opening is, the moment we saw this market gapping down, मैंने आपको काफी बार बताया है कि अगर कोई मार्केट इस तरीके से शुरू करता है, पहले एक रैली था, पहले देयर वाज दिस रैली, it makes a top over here, then it comes down, it makes a lower high, and then if it breaks like this, I have told many times on YouTube, अगर आपको ऐसा कोई स्ट्रक्चर दिखे जहां पे आपके पास वन, ये टू, ये थ्री, ये फोर, वन टू थ्री फोर, राइट, ये वन टू थ्री फोर का सीक्वेंस इस तरीके से है, तो जब तक ये थ्री क्रॉस नहीं होता है, आपको सिर्फ एक ही काम करना है कि जब भी आपको ऊपर के लेवल्स मिले, यू शुड शॉर्ट. This is a classic reversal price action reversal pattern. It's a classic price action based reversal pattern. Now, this thing you can observe on 1 minute chart, you can observe on 5 minute chart, you can observe on hourly chart, monthly chart, daily chart. जो time frame पे देखना है आप उसको check कर सकते हो, because logic is the same. It works on all the time frame. So this was pretty much obvious कि आपको जब तक 14,960 मॉब लेवल जब तक क्रॉस नहीं होता है, आपको शॉर्ट करना है. एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी एग्जैक्टली डिड. हमने जो है मार्केट को अगेन वी सोल्ड ऑफ एग्जैक्टली ऑन दिस रेड कैंडल, एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंड, बूम, it went down. Correct. How many people from my group members are live watching this? क्या हमने ये शॉर्ट ट्रेड लिया था? क्या मैंने आपको इस चीज को टाइमली अपडेट किया था? जस्ट लेट मी नो सो दैट अदर पीपल कैन ऑल्सो नो कि हम रियल बात करते हैं, फालतू बात नहीं करते, राइट. सो दिस वाज अ प्रीटी मच ऑब्वियस ट्रेड, एंड फ्रॉम यू कैन सी 14,840, 830 ऑल द वे टुवर्ड्स 14,600, 620 लेवल. करेक्ट. जो भी डाउन साइड टारगेट्स मैंने दिए थे आपको फ्राइडे के लिए, एवरीथिंग गॉट अचीव. सो यहाँ पे जरूरी क्या है? जरूरी ये है कि आप यूट्यूब वीडियो को ऑब्वियसली देखें. उसके बाद आपको जो बेसिक्स होता है ना प्राइस एक्शन का, बेसिक में क्या चीजें आती हैं? बेसिक में आता है कि गैप को कैसे रीड करना है. करेक्ट. प्राइस एक्शन की स्ट्रक्चर को समझना है, जैसे ये 1 2 3 4 मैंने आपको बताया. और तीसरा वी वैप को, कि वी वैप को कैसे यूज करना है. अगर बस ये तीन आप समझ गए तो ट्रस्ट मी, पोस्ट कोविड ईरा में जो ये फैंटास्टिक मार्केट चल रहा है टेक्निकल्स के लिए, यू कैन एक्चुअली ट्रेड वेरी वेरी इजीली. यू कैन एक्चुअली ट्रेड वेरी वेरी इजीली. Fine. So learn these three things bare minimum if you want to become a index trader. If you want to become an index trader, you should have idea about how to trade gaps, how to understand the price structure, and how to utilize VWAP as a tool for your execution. If you look at the Nifty futures chart, just on the left hand side, so if you see initially the VWAP was very very flat. So once we sold off here after this gap filling, then it went into rotation like this. Okay, made a structure. There was this trend line resistance, and then it was very very obvious that once the fall will start, it will go all the way towards this. So it was a very easy thing, very easy, I would say, trade. The bottom of the day, the bottom of the day was broken here with a big red candle. Again, it came to retest, and again it continued. So this shows that there was a committed selling on the downside just before the Friday's session comes to an end. Now, अगर हम बड़ी पिक्चर की बात करें, let us see what happened in the daily time frame. Daily time frame पे क्या हुआ है? जैसा आपको याद होगा कि ये भी प्रीटी मच आपको मैंने एडवांस में बताया था कि मार्केट मल्टीपल कॉम्बिनेशन में चल रहा है. दैट मींस डू नॉट एक्सपेक्ट एनी काइंड ऑफ अ न्यू हाई. ओके, दिस वाज कैटेगोरिकली सेड सिंस लास्ट 3 months. आई हैव बीन सेइंग द सेम थिंग. दूसरी बात कि इवन इफ देयर इज अ न्यू हाई सिचुएशन कमिंग आउट ऑफ दिस फॉलिंग वेज पैटर्न, इवन इफ देयर इज अ न्यू हाई, दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू सस्टेन. कहा है कि नहीं कहा है? दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू सस्टेन, राइट. इसका बेस्ट पॉसिबल जो इवेंट था, इसका जो बेस्ट पॉसिबल इवेंट था, दैट कुड हैव बीन, लेट मी जस्ट, आई थिंक देयर इज सम इशू, देयर इज सम टेक्निकल इशू. ओके, सो I think now there should not be any problem. Now I think the problem is resolved. Just let me know if you can see my screen and hear my voice. I will continue. Okay, so even if the best case scenario happens to play out, the new highs will not sustain. So that was the commentary, that was the view that we have been maintaining. The only event that could have created such a thing was today's election result, and that has not gone in favor of the government, right? So again, even that possibility is kicked out from the window. Many people, I can see many people on Facebook, I can see many people on YouTube. So many people are bullish in this market, and we are the only one who have been bearish, who has been bearish since all these while. And I continue to maintain that thing, right? This is why most of our followers watch our daily session, because we do not change the view unless the market changes itself. And I've been proving this since last almost 1.5 years, and we have done almost 400, more than 400 live sessions. So now what is the picture? See, the picture is very simple. हमने यहाँ पे क्यों शॉर्ट किया था थर्सडे को? One reason was we approached very close to the trend line resistance. Second was this resistance, this trend line resistance. If you see, आपको याद होगा टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में मैंने आपको exactly ये पिक्चर पोर्ट्रे किया है, and I think मैंने YouTube पे भी which should happen by 28th of May, within next one calendar month, right? Now अब मैं सीधे आता हूँ कल के ऊपर, और थोड़ा वीडियो को शॉर्ट करेंगे because there was some internet issue. So see what is the scenario as of now. Okay, let me make this chart a weekly chart. Okay, now the mob level for this week, the mob level for this week will be 14,630. Okay, so we have a long tail on the higher side. Okay, we have a long tail on the higher side. So the mob level, the make or break level, the weekly make or break level will be 14,640, which is almost the closing price of Friday. Above this, it is a bull's paradise. Above this, there will be a bullish moves. It will be easier for bulls to travel. And the first target is 14,880. Second target is your 15,080. And third target will be approximately 15,250. Okay, so three targets I'm giving on the upside, out of which I believe if market starts to travel on the upside, you can see till this much. So this is a conservative upside potential. This is a conservative upside potential. Okay, but I don't see market crossing this level. So I don't see market crossing above the 15,000 mark. That is done and dusted. On the downside, if we trade below this, and that looks very certain, our first target will be 14,440. Second target will be 14,240, and third target will be 14,000 round. So three targets are there on the downside. Now see, the levels are pretty simple. The levels are pretty much the same which we have been following since many weeks now. बट व्हाट इज दिस सिनेरियो? इफ यू रिमेंबर, मैंने आपको दोस्तों एक चीज समझाई थी कि ये मार्केट क्या कर रहा है. ये मार्केट गिरता है, देन इट राइजेस बैक टू मेक अ ट्रायंगल लाइक दिस, अगेन इट फॉल्स, अगेन इट मेक्स अ triangle like this, again it falls, and again it makes a triangle like this, and again it will fall. Okay, so it is basically undergoing a channelized type of a complex correction where you can see many legs like this, and eventually the final leg, whichever the final leg happens, whenever it happens, that will decide whether this market is going to tank or this market is going to do a counter wave rally of this entire zigzag corrective moves. ओके, सो अभी इसको और इसको आने में अभी और समय है. मुझे लगता है कि पूरा एक और महीना, दिस मे मंथ ऑलमोस्ट, और 3 weeks, again we are going to trade in this pretty much zigzag fashion where the bottom side will be 14k and the upper side will be 15k. Okay, now suppose we are sustaining below 14,240 mark, we are sustaining below the 14,240 mark for say couple of days, then in that case the 14,000 strike price will come under threat, and that is the time then we have to be very careful, because lot of time this 14,000 strike price has been saved by this market, so sooner or later it will break, right? जिस तरीके से 15,000 पे काफी बार रेजिस्टेंस ले चुका है, उसी तरीके से 14,000 पे काफी बार सपोर्ट ले चुका है, तो either has to give. So either 14,000 will give or 15,000 will give. The hint will come from sustaining below 14,240 for an eventual break of 14,000, and sustaining above 14,880 फॉर इवेंचुअल ब्रेक ऑफ 15,000। तो ये जो दो मैं आपको लेवल्स दे रहा हूं, अगर आप लॉजिक से सोचोगे तो सिंपल एक सोल्यूशन ये है कि इस रेंज में जब तक मार्केट है, market is long short both, market is zigzag both, so you can trade on the both side, keep some stop losses, fixed stop losses, so that whichever side is, suppose आपने long किया और ये side break होता है तो you have a limited risk, okay? So this way you can manage, and whenever this side break either on the higher side or on the lower side, you can expect a difference of this level which is roughly minus 600 points. That will be the target on either side. So on the downside you can say you can expect 13,600, and on the upper side you can expect Let us see if it more than fine, or else we will have to quit. Okay, so I'm trying for the last time. Let us see if it works. Then fantastic, or else we will have to call it a day. So, guys, welcome. Let me know if now everything is fine. ऑल गुड ठीक है एवरीथिंग इज फाइन सो ठीक है सो वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट निफ्टी सो हमने निफ्टी की वीकली प्लान को हमने डिस्कस कर लिया राइट नाउ व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड इन दिस मार्केट एज ऑफ नाउ इज दैट 14,640 ये जो लेवल है ओके that is a very good and very important level. We have to save this band of 14,640 से लेके 14,500. आप देख सकते हैं कि ये जो बैंड है ना, दिस बैंड इज अ वेरी crucial band. Okay, so tomorrow what can happen is, suppose because of the election and all, right, tomorrow we can have some big range candle, but then later on I would like to see the closing of this candle. If the closing is, you know, below the 11,004 sorry 14,640 level, deep below the 14,640 level, and if it is below this band, then definitely I will carry the short for next day, even for the Tuesday, because this band is what I will be watching. Okay, इसके ऊपर bullishness आएगा, इसके नीचे bearishness है, that is very very clear cut. Okay, so इसमें कोई भी doubt नहीं है. तो इस zone का, ये जो 140 point zone है, this is the no trade zone, and above and below this you have to trade. On the higher side 14,880 and on the lower side 14,240, ये जो levels हैं ये achieve होंगे. ठीक है. Now I don't want to talk about any scenario because we don't know how markets will take these numbers. Prima facie, looking by the Friday profile and the way markets shaped on Friday, I will not be surprised to see a big gap down opening somewhere near the 14,400 mark. We also have a gap to fill over here, which is near the 14,350 mark. Okay, so this is the area where I'm expecting market to open. Market should open somewhere here around the 14,360, 14,320, somewhere in this gap we should open. And then obviously बड़ी gap down opening है, तो हम VWAP को watch करेंगे till we are below this gap, till we are below this level of 14,458. Market what can do is it can, you know, continue to move on the lower side. So ये हम कल देखते हैं कि किस तरीके से खुलता है. Now for intraday, कल इंट्राडे के लिए मॉब लेवल जो मैं दूंगा, हो सकता है वो कल वर्क ना करे, बिकॉज टुमारो वी कैन हैव अ बिग रेंज, राइट. सो स्टिल आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट. मेरे हिसाब से जो कल का मॉब लेवल होगा इंट्राडे, वो भी आई विल कीप 14,640, which is just the last breakdown area, which is also the gap area, which is also the previous highs over here. So 11,460 for sorry, अगेन अगेन मेरे मुंह से 11,460 निकल रहा है, इसको सेव कर लो, क्या पता कहीं आना चाहे 2-4 महीने में. So 14,640, that is the level. On the downside, my first target will be 14,440. Second target will be 14,280. So these two targets I will be looking on the downside in this particular fashion. Okay. On the upside, above 14,640, I would love to see 14,770. That's it. इसके ऊपर कल मैं बाजार को देख नहीं रहा हूँ. अगर बाजार नीचे खुलता है तो बाजार मोस्टली नीचे ही रहेगा. Now एक स्पेशल टिप मैं कल के लिए देना चाहूंगा, वो ये है कि sometimes we have seen that after, you know, some big election result etc., market opens very big gap down or market opens in a big gap up manner, but then it starts to move in a opposite direction. Okay, जिसको हम टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में रिवर्सल डे कहते हैं. रिवर्सल डे doesn't mean the trend is reversing, it just mean that particular day is a reversal day. So what is a reversal day? You will open, suppose, in a gap down manner, you will start to go down, and then the day is reversed and market keeps moving higher and closes almost at the day's high. Similarly, market opens in a gap up, it goes up, then it reverses down and continues to move down and closes at the day's low. So ये है आपका अप रिवर्सल डे, ये है आपका डाउन रिवर्सल डे. तो ये होने की भी चांसेस होती है whenever there is a some sort of, you know, big election result etc. जब मार्केट तैयार नहीं है किसी एक साइड मूव करने के लिए, मार्केट जब खुद रेडी नहीं होता, तो इस टाइप की चीजें होती है रिवर्सल डे. नाउ सपोज इससे हम कैसे बचेंगे कल? इससे आप बच सकते हो दो तरीके से. नंबर एक, कि जहां से मार्केट खुलता है, यानी ये जो जो फर्स्ट 5 मिनट का कैंडल होगा, यू नो दिस पॉइंट नंबर 1, इसके ऊपर अगर मार्केट चला गया तो आप समझ जाओ कि फिर रिस्क है, एंड then you have to cover your shorts etc. Similarly, if there is a gap up opening, once we break past the point 1, that is the time when you should exit your longs and you should take the short trade. तो यहाँ पे भी आपको सेम चीज करना है. पॉइंट 1 के ऊपर हम लॉन्ग कर सकते हैं, शॉर्ट को कट कर सकते हैं. गैप अप ओपनिंग में पॉइंट 1 के नीचे लॉन्ग्स को कट कर सकते हैं और हम शॉर्ट कर सकते हैं. एक ये तरीका होता है. दूसरा तरीका क्या होता है? दूसरा तरीका होता है कि आप गैप और वीवैप को थोड़ा समझो, राइट. जिनको भी ये चीज आती है, वेरी वेल एंड वेरी नाइस, वेरी गुड. इफ यू नो हाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड वीवैप के ऊपर अगर जाता है तो फिर आपको शॉर्ट्स को कट कर देना चाहिए, स्पेशली ऑन अ पोस्ट इवेंट डे मार्केट. ओके, सो गैप एंड वीवैप को आपको यूज करना है. ऑल दोस पीपल हु डू नॉट नो हाउ टू use these things, you are welcome to join the next training which is on May 8th and May 9th. So we are going to talk a lot about the gap. You see over here it is mentioned gap trading and VWAP trading. Fine. So that's all. That's the plan for Nifty for intraday basis and for the weekly basis. Now let us talk about Bank Nifty. See Bank Nifty में काफी अच्छा चीज हुआ है. बैंक निफ्टी में अच्छा ये चीज हुआ है कि थर्सडे को जो हमने शॉर्ट ट्रेड इनिशिएट किया था दैट वाज एब्सोल्युटली फैंटास्टिक, और इसका भी कंटिन्यूएशन आपको देखने को मिला. इफ यू लुक एट द 30-minute चार्ट ऑफ बैंक निफ्टी, सी दिस कैंडल मेड एट 10:45. This candle told the complete story for rest of the day. Why? Number one, this was the very strong uptrend, so we made a buying climax here, strong sell off. Okay, so one, you have two, then you have this three, right? And then you have the four, यानी आपका ये ब्रेक हो गया है. तो ये जो पोर्शन है, ये पोर्शन था आपका शॉर्ट्स इनिशिएट करने का विद अ स्टॉप लॉस अबाउट दिस 33,900. So this was the area to look out for a short trade, which is the gap as well as the structural area. Now in this area we saw that this particular red candle on 30-minute chart, a bearish pin bar, right, that did all the trick, and this is where the short trade was there. Anybody could have shorted here, and minimum days low should have been tested. यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा गैप था, जो गैप आइडियल टारगेट होना चाहिए था शॉर्ट ट्रेड के लिए, एंड दिस इज वेयर मार्केट वेंट एंड मार्केट कंप्लीटेड दिस गैप आल्सो. सो वेरी वेरी logical, very very technical move happened on Thursday and Friday. Now because of these moves of Thursday and Friday, we are seeing Bank Nifty at a crucial support. Okay, so Bank Nifty जो है अपने 32,600 के support पे है, and this is the level which is very crucial. So tomorrow what can happen is we may open suppose gap down and we will hit this level of 31,650. Okay, now this level 31,650 is a very good support. Okay, so if we open like this, boom, if we make a candle like this 31,650, I will be watching very closely. If Bank Nifty is protecting this area, then I will look for long trade, maybe tomorrow itself or maybe on Tuesday. The logic is we made a bottom here, this was the first wave, and now this may be the second wave on the downside, which can again continue and move one more round on the upside somewhere near this area. Okay, so we have a falling good trend line resistance coming up on the Bank Nifty. We already rejected from this trend line on your Thursday, continued on Friday, will be continued tomorrow on Monday, but then I believe one more round can be made over here. Okay, so broadly speaking, on Bank Nifty, I think it is fair to assume 31,500, 31,050 somewhere here. Okay, it's logical to assume कि ये हमारा एक support का एक and 33,500, 33,750 ये हमारा resistance होगा इस week. So I'm talking about a broader level of I will say 31,250 on the side over here and 33,750 on the side. So it's a pretty good range actually. I'm confident about these two levels. I think this is going to be the base of this week, and this is going to be the maximum possible high. Oh, there is a voice problem. Also, so I think today is a bad day. Today is a bad day. Think about it. Okay, let us go. I think today is not going to work. So try 3 times and oops. Yeah, this is not going to work.